Hi guys, so my name is Maggie and I am the creator of this teen dating violence PSA. So the reason why you're watching this is probably because you've already seen this PSA or you're currently watching it and you got linked somehow, but the reason why I am making this video is because this original PSA was actually made 4 years ago, as you guys can see, and it was part of my senior project that I had to do in order to graduate. Now, 4 years later, I've already actually graduated from college, so it's been quite a stretch since then. So my reason for making this video is just to kind of address some of the questions and discussions that were brought up in the comments. Now, keep in mind that this YouTube account slash channel is no longer active, so I haven't really checked it or looked at this video in the past 4 years. And I kind of stumbled across it last night because as I was like moving back from college, because I went away for college, I began to get really reminiscent, so I started looking back at like old high school stuff, even some middle school stuff, so stumbled across this video again, and I was really amazed to see that I have over 120,000 views on this video and over 300 comments. To some people, this might seem like not that much to you guys, but to me, because I never really published it onto any social media sites and I never actively promoted it, I'm really kind of in awe that it became so big to me anyway. I took some time yesterday to kind of scan through the comments and kind of see some feedback and what people had to say about this teen dating violence PSA. So I decided to make this video today to kind of address some of the questions and discussions that you guys had. So first of all, one of the more discussed and talked about issues was whether or not the story was real, whether or not I knew the person, Melissa, whose story this was, and whether or not she really ended her life in the end. So, kind of a backstory on that. The story, Melissa's story, was actually from a source that I found for my final paper for the senior project. So, the story is true. Melissa is a real person. I don't personally know her, but she is a real person that actually won a prize for coming out and speaking about her experience with teen dating violence. So with that said, I think my friend Anne did a really good job portraying this character, and whether or not she actually passed away in the end. In my video, I kind of left it ambiguous. In real life, obviously, Melissa didn't pass away because if she did, she would not be alive to tell her tale. But I decided to keep it kind of open-ended and ambiguous in the video because I wanted to show you all the worst case scenario that could happen in an abusive relationship. And unfortunately, a lot of times people decide to end their lives over it. And I kind of just wanted to shine some light on that and to just show everyone how big of a deal it is. So and also another reason why I decided to end it that way as opposed to just showing that you can pick yourself back up or whatever that a lot of victims decide to do, which is a good thing. I ended it that way primarily because this makes me sound like a terrible person. I just wanted to be an artsy fart, and I really thought that the macro onto the pills would look really nice. So that was just me being an artsy fart also. So in the original story, obviously Melissa didn't end her life, but left it kind of open-ended in the video because, you know, it does take a while for the medication to kick in, so you can kind of think on the more positive side and maybe someone found her before it was too late and brought her to the hospital. So that's the first point, or the first topic of discussion that I wanted to bring up. Secondly, and this is one of the more, I think, funny, sort of fun, okay, I guess it's not that funny, but a lot of people were commenting on the race and ethnicities of the characters. So I had a lot of people commenting like, oh, of course it's a white guy that's abusive. Of course it's an interracial relationship. Now, just to kind of address that, first of all, I wanted to say sorry if you're watching this, Jeremy, who is the abuser character in this video. I'm sorry because I don't want people to think you're a douche or anything, because you're the total opposite in real life. Jeremy is actually a really, really sweet, nice guy. He's basically a big friendly giant. So I don't want people to think that I am specifically targeting a specific race, or that I think that white people are more, particularly more abusive or anything. It's not like that. Honestly, the only reason why it was an interracial relationship, and the only reason why the white guy was the abuser, is because I couldn't find any Asian guy friends to take up this role. So none of them were up for the challenge, and none of them wanted to be labeled bad guy. None of them wanted to be on camera, really. So that's why, because my Asian guy friends are shy and they didn't really want to help me out with my senior project, I guess. So Jeremy, being the nice guy that he is, was the only one that was willing to be an abuser. But I can assure you that he is one of the nicest guys ever. So yeah, to address that point, yeah. And I don't think that there are any specific races or ethnicities that are more abusive than others. I think it can happen with anyone, so that's that. And finally, one of the more heavy conversations that went out in the comments was why the girl didn't break up with the boyfriend. Because, you know, once a lot of people were like, oh, once my boyfriend, you know, even puts a finger on me, like, I would break up with him. Now, I just kind of wanted to say that it's easier said than done, because I did do a lot of research on the topic, and I actually did study psychology in college, so I was able to see, like, a lot of case studies, a lot of, you know, instances where the victim can't always cut themselves away from the abuser, and that's because there's kind of this cycle that abusers and victims in, you know, abusive relationships are in, and that's a lot of times, like the video discusses, you start off with the abuser kind of pulling you away from everyone around you, so basically cutting you off from everyone else's life, and the only person that matters is the abuser, and then they'll start doing a lot of emotional abuse. Some people resort to physical abuse, and it's not as easy as you think it is to just say, let's break up, because a lot of times the abuser will kind of change their ways a little bit in order to kind of get you back on the hook, and then they'll change right back to their abusive ways. A lot of times they also the victims also feel that their life is being threatened, so they'll stay with their abuser, you know, just because they fear for their life. So there are many reasons why the victims can't just break up with their abuser. While I think that it's the best thing to do, and even maybe on more legal terms get restraining orders, it's not always as easy as you think. So with that said, those are the main points that I wanted to address after reading through some of the comments in this video. I do thank you all again for taking your time to watch this video, and I'm really happy to see that a lot of comments actually expressed that watching the video helped them a lot, that it helped their friends through a tough time and things like that. So I'm really happy to see those kind of comments, and happy that it's even making a difference in the world. I think that's a really amazing thing. So yeah, with that said, thank you again for watching the video, and also, I've recently started a new YouTube channel, so if you're interested in my life at all, you can check it out. The channel name is Musings with Magz, so Musings with, and then Magz with the Z at the end. I'm gonna basically be doing some daily vlogs, not daily, but just some random vlogs, some food ventures, maybe some cooking videos, maybe some travels, or just random stuff. So if you have nothing to do and you wanted to kind of take a peek into the life of a post-grad who has no idea what she's doing, you can check it out. I'll link it here or somewhere, or in the info box. And yeah, so thank you for listening to me talk. I will post the video soon. Bye.